What's up guys, F Focus, and because the last video getting so many views and just a lot of people overall liking it, I decided to do a Tarkov tips and trick number 2. This one's a little bit for more when you kind of know about the game, but can also be helpful even if you're new. So this is going to be episode 2, tips and tricks of Tarkov. Let me know if you guys like this and we can keep doing videos like this. Alright guys, start the video off. It's going to be tip number 1, and it's going to be insure all your gear, especially your weapons. Now I know this is kind of a given. You don't want to lose it. If you get killed by a scav somewhere and the players don't know where you are, then you're going to get your gear back. And I know that makes sense, but it's especially useful in solo play as well as group play. Now in solo play, it's especially important because if you don't have a tri-zip or a scav bag, or even if you do have those and they're already maxed and you want another weapon, but both your slots are taken or your backpack's full, then all you need to do is go to a bush somewhere secluded and dump your gun. Now once you dump that gun that's insured that you came into the raid with, as long as you have a safe path to extract and or have a good enough gun that you can fight your way through to an extraction, then definitely dump your gun that you insured, because you're guaranteed to get it back as long as you dumped it in the bush, and pick up that extra gun so you can sell it for more money or so you can keep it and have a bigger inventory. Now obviously this is easy win and given when it comes to group play. If you get murdered in a raid, then your group can go get your stuff that you have insured and dump it somewhere in a bush and you'll get it back. Alright guys, so this one is going to be kind of a personal preference, but tip number 2 is going to be magazines and ammo. Now, my personal preference, which may be different than a lot of others, is I only roll 2 mags. 1 magazine inside the gun and then 1 extra. And this is just so I can alternate between the two, so I don't have as much inventory space being taken up, and or it's just not kind of cluttered. I don't know which magazine I'm switching between. So I only have to reload and refill 1 mag and don't have to worry about any other extras. Now, the easiest thing I do is in my pockets, I usually roll 1 grenade, and then the other 3 slots in my pockets are my ammo, whether that be 5.56 or 5.45. I always roll 3 stacks of 60 inside my pockets for extra ammo, and then 2 magazines. Alright, tip number 3, checking the chamber and checking your mag. Now the mag check is just kind of an estimate, but obviously it's a pretty good estimate. It'll just say full, about full, under half, something like that is kind of about what the text it reads in the bottom right hand corner. That's when you press Alt T. You'll pull out your mag, and in the bottom right hand corner it'll tell you what the status is of how many bullets you have in the mag. Now, if you want to check the chamber, which I think there's no reason to, because when you join a raid, if there's not one in the chamber, your guy will cock the gun and put one in the chamber, so I think it's kind of pointless, but the animation is awesome. So if anything else, just do it for the animation. You got to do it by holding Shift and pressing T, and then it'll kind of pull back and check the chamber. Guns like AKs and the SV98, it's really hard to see the bullet, especially if it's at nighttime. You almost will not see the bullet, but it's just cool animation. But again, the more practical one is pressing Alt-T, because if you're in the middle of a fight, it is a little better than pressing Tab, because you don't have to bring up another inventory menu. You can just press Alt-T and go through a little animation as you're still scoping the area out for the player that's around you. Alright, tip number 4 is all about suppressors. Now this one is pretty big. I understand if you're kind of a lower level, then you may not be able to buy suppressors, but then again, this video is kind of more for the semi-advanced to advanced players, I guess you could say. Suppressors, there should be no reason you're taking a gun out without any suppressor on it. Once you get into the level 20 range and above, you may not be able to buy M4s yet because you haven't leveled up some of your traders, but by the time you hit 20, Pavel's should be maxed out. And when Pavel's maxed out, you can buy suppressors from him. Not a very good one, but you can buy one for the AKs, which is attached for the AKS and the AKN. Regardless, no matter where you're going, whether it is in factory, shoreline, woods, or custom, any map that's available right now, you should always have a suppressor, because the AKS especially, you think that you can't really hear it, or it thinks it may be very loud on your end, but it's not. It's very quiet, and unless you're pretty close to it, you cannot hear it, so you'll be practically a ghost from across the map. Alright, tip number 5. This one's all about weapon modding. Now, if you guys want to have your own video on this to go more in depth on it, I don't have a problem making it, just let me know. But this one's going to play off of tip 4 about suppressors. If you want to mod an M4 and put a suppressor on, I get this question quite a bit. All you're going to need is a KAC QD compensator. It's up near the top of the shop on Peacekeeper. It's just because every suppressor that I know about right now that can go on the Colt 4 M4 is a KAC suppressor. So you're going to need the compensator to attach it first, and then you can attach the suppressor right on the end of it. Now for AKs, since most people will be taking out AKs or AKSs, both of these suppressors work on both types of gun. In the Skier, he sells a hexagon suppressor, and then on Pavel, he will sell a TGP-A suppressor. Okay guys, now this one really isn't that practical, but if you do want to know it, then it's here as an option. Now, if you're in the middle of a gunfight and you want to reload a little bit faster, it does shave off the time just a hair, but if you press R to reload, you do a normal reload and it'll cycle through your mags. Now, you can double tap R and you'll do a really cool animation. That's my opinion. The animations in this game are awesome. You'll do a cool animation and you'll throw the mag on the ground, and you'll put your other mag straight in, and it does shave the time a little bit, so it is a faster reload. It's more of a tactical reload to get off that kill that you need. Maybe it's a life or death situation, and if it is a life or death situation, then I do think it's worth it. But make sure you go and pick up your mag, because you did just dump it on the ground. But just double tap R for the more of a tactical reload, and if you do have more than one clip inside your AVS or your BlackRock or your Alpha, then you can hold R and then use the mouse wheel to scroll to a different magazine. Tip number 7 is leaning. Since most of you guys already know how to lean, this is no surprise that you need to lean around corners and stuff and just hold an angle to lean. That's easy and a given, and that's amateur stuff. But you can also, it's a hidden feature of one of many in Tarkov. All you have to do is hold down Alt and press A and D, and you'll perform a slow lean. Now the benefits of this slow lean are you stay in the lean action even after you've ran or walked away and went to a different piece of cover. You'll still be on a lean to the left or a lean to the right. Now, just to get out of this and to activate just the normal stance again, just press Q or E and just to lean to a regular side, and once you're done, it'll kick you back to the center. Tip number 8, speaking. Now, this one's pretty big, and if you get it to work, that'd be great. Send me a video link or something just to show me that you can do it. This has happened on many occasions just by default, but to actually get it to happen on purpose, I've yet to do so. Maybe I should try a smaller map. Maybe the proximity is not quite as big, but I've been told that if you're a player, obviously you're playing on your PMC and you're shooting or something and there's some scavs around you, a good way to check is to press Y, which everybody knows is the talking command, and you'll actually say something in game. But apparently if you say it around a scav, then he will actually talk back. Now, what I've gathered from it by doing my own research, I think that you have to be in combat with them, or they have to be in combat with somebody else. It can't just be a quiet stance. But nonetheless, I've been told that if you press Y around some scav in a certain proximity, they will yell back. Alright, now this is a big one. I've used it on a couple occasions, mainly just for scabs, but also you can use it for players. This is the backstep. Now, this one's going to be really big for somebody holding a tight angle, and you know that they're holding a tight angle, and maybe they're out there peeking you. They're not too far away, because when you're performing this action, I found out that I don't believe you can aim down iron sights, so it's just a hip fire, but you can shoot. So to do this action up against the wall or wherever you want to be for it, all you're going to have to do is hold down Alt and press Q and E, and your guy will perform a backstep. Now, the real good perks and benefits to this are the backstep is very quick. So you can be holding a corner and just backstep real quick to get a peek out, just to see who's out there. Yes, you still can get shot, obviously, but it's much quicker than peeking, and it's a little bit more practical because you get a wider range and a bigger area of view. Tip number 10, the infamous F1 grenade. Now, not only is this going to be a little bit of a history behind the grenade, but it's also going to help you not get murdered by it. Now, a lot of us probably get killed by the F1 grenade all the time. Even if we've thrown it, we've gotten killed by our own grenade. Now, this is due to the fact that it is a shrapnel grenade. It is shrapnel. So if you throw this, take cover. Even if you're far enough away, the shrapnel can still come and kill you. That's why a lot of us die when we throw it, because we're just standing up watching the explosion, and the shrapnel comes and hits you right in the face. So if you don't want to get killed by it, take cover. It's an F1 grenade. It's based off the French grenade. It's a fragmentation grenade. Obviously, like I said, the shrapnel grenade. It has 60 grams of TNT explosives inside. So that's a pretty fucking big explosion. It will explode and take out anything in its proximity. And just a little known fact, it's nicknamed the lemon. So if you have any lemons inside your pouch and pockets or alpha rig or whatever rig you're using, you can literally do an insane amount of damage to anybody around with the lemons. Alright, now that's going to wrap up this episode of Tips and Tricks. As always, I appreciate everything, and if you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more great Tarkov content.
Finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who got always me from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother.